Hello everybody, welcome to another True Review. I am of course True, your Million G Gamer, and this is Metropolis Lux Obscura on the Xbox One. It releases on the 4th of April, published by Sometimes You. You're getting to know these guys by now, and it's developed by Cthulhu Solutions. Cthulhu spelled with a K though on this occasion, and it's going to be priced at £6.39, so it's probably the highest priced Sometimes You title so far.
The gentle feel of elusive freedom finally caresses my skin, like a lover's breath too many years out of my arms. The heaven's angels piss wet on my face. Some guys can't stand the open freedom on their skin, or the constant need to make choices. They pull a crime to go back inside for 3 meals and a bed with no rent. Everyone hoped I'd stay inside forever, or break and off myself, sobbing in my own spit, snot, and tears. But hope is for suckers and lovers.
So what do we have with Metropolis Lux Obscura then? That's a great name, but I don't know what it means or relevance to the game title, the game itself, but this is the game description anyway. Metropolis Lux Obscura is a unique game with a film noir atmosphere, seductive, wanton women, and dirty, dangerous secrets. Gameplay is based on the motion comic with a non-linear plot mixed with match-free puzzle fights. The city is rotten to the core. You can't even tell night from day in this hell where big money runs everything, and the best way to prove you are right is with brute force. Jon Lockhart walked through the prison gates a free man after spending years imprisoned as a supposed murderer of an old friend. He returned once more to the city where it all started, intent on figuring out who it was that framed him for the murder and make them pay in blood for the crime. It'll take some work with the key witness dead, but that just meant he had to flush out every rat from hiding. Old friends and new enemies search for the truth, for loyalty and sanity, but all you can find is redemption, betrayal, death. Welcome to Metropolis. Now it says features. Now I see this is a little bit of an immature kind of description of the game, but it says beautiful comic art. That's correct, it is. It's good. Gorgeous sexy girls. 12 mental disorders and bad habits to unlock. They're basically your perks. Amazing soundtracks and audio effects, rich and dramatic story, professionally voice acted, an addicting match-free puzzle battle system with upgradable traits, obscenity and sexism. That's a feature. That's a feature, people. That's a listed feature and 4 different endings. So, what do we have with this then? Well, I really enjoyed this game, I have to say. You boot the game up and you immediately can tell that the comic has been drawn by somebody who knows what they're doing. The art style is fantastic. It's definitely film noir. It's definitely kind of that Sin City kind of feel to it. And the visuals are just great and fantastic. Even the match-free visuals are good. The symbols that you're matching, they could have gone for just generic kind of things, but they actually fit the context of the game. So there's an amazing job done there. But you're basically in a location. Sometimes you get to choose a dialogue choice which progresses the game, and at certain points those dialogue choices are important because they will branch the game off to one of the 4 game's endings. Now, you progress through the locations. When you enter the location, you enter the city map, where you can sometimes only choose one place to go, but sometimes you have multiple locations. Some of them are not relevant to the story, but just add a little bit of extra context to certain things and give you an additional fight, which can help you in the story, in the main story missions. But you just move from location to location, listening to the, looking at the beautiful comic that's been drawn, and it's to say professional voice acted, and I genuinely believe that is the case because the voice acting is on point for this game. You actually believe these characters are saying it. There's a few dodgy lines here and there, especially for one of the female actresses, but for the most part the voice acting is absolutely spot on. But the main crux of the gameplay is the battle system. It is a basic match-free game, but there is a few little caveats there. Literally, the screen is full of different icons, different attacks. There's a boot for kicking people, fists, there's a chain fist attack which you can which does a lot of damage. There's poison that you can throw at people, and there's even a taser attack. But to spice things up a bit, there's also a rage bar which you can fill up by matching 3 rage icons, and that increases your damage multiplier, which is very important in some of the later battles where you're facing like 3 opponents with vastly more health than you, and you've only got a very pittance of a health bar to work with. And there is of course healing items as well, and the worst thing on the board is the police tokens. Basically, the police are on your side. If you match 3 or more police tokens up, you will take a huge amount of damage, which completely wrecks you, to be honest with you. But that's how the game progresses, really. It's like a location, you know, look or read the comic, listen to the excellent voice acting, make a choice sometimes, choose another location, usually get into a fight in most of the locations as well. Once you've won the fight, you get to choose what it calls a mental disorder, but it's basically a perk. It's something that helps you. It could increase the effectiveness of healing, increase the effectiveness of your attack, maybe an opportunity that the opponent misses their turn, for example, because how the opponents work is they will attack after you've made so many moves, and it does vary from battle to battle. Sometimes it's a 1-for-1, sometimes you can make 3 or 4 moves even before the opponent strikes you. So that can be quite an important perk. There's other ones where the damage has a chance to be doubled, for example. They're all useful in a unique way, but they are random when you get them. You basically have a choice of 4 every time you're victorious in battle. And I have to say, all 4 endings which I went through are fantastic. They're all different, mostly different anyway. One of them's a little bit similar, but they're all different, and they all end in a way you wouldn't normally expect a video game to end. But yeah, there's nothing really much more to say about this, really. I mean, you can see it all on the screen there. There is a few issues with it. Unfortunately, they did crop up very early in my playthrough. Basically, the first dialogue choice you have in the bar, you can choose from about 4 or 5 things. The first option worked fine, but if you choose any of the other options, the game like locks and you doesn't progress and you can't do anything, so you have to hard reset the game. So that needs obviously fixing. It's a bit disappointing that wasn't picked up, especially when it's the first action you take in the damn game. And there is also a bizarre bug, which I don't know why it's happening. Sometimes with the match-free puzzle games, you can move and match something, and then a square turns blank. And then you can carry on, but then more and more squares turn blank, and then eventually the game's like kind of, it doesn't quite soft lock, but you get stuck and you have to run from the battle and start again. So these are issues that really need fixing, but other than that, this is a very fun film noir game. Each playthrough will take you about an hour to 2, well, take you about an hour and a half, 2 hours to go through if you watch and read all the dialogue. You can skip the dialogue, so if you're going in subsequent playthroughs to try and branch off for different endings and don't want to rewatch scenes you've already done, a game playthrough will be probably about an hour or so. But this is really good value for money. It's excellently done. There's been some effort put into this one. The match 3 is mildly entertaining as well, and done in a way that you can see they even put effort into that part of it, when they could have just done the easy option and just done duels or some kind of generic thing that we see in all these kind of games. So for Metropolis Lux Obscura, I am going to give a big fat buy. I love this game. It's very entertaining. It's an easy 1,000 gamer score. There's a few tricky ones that you may have to manipulate and try a few times with different playthroughs to get certain perks to make them easier to get. But it's just a pleasure to play, and a very, very dark and dreary story to experience, and it is an adult orientated story as well, so do bear that in mind. It does have a Peggy 16 rating on it. I'm surprised it didn't get an 18, to be honest with you, with some of the subject content in there, because it does deal with subjects of murder, suicide, and there's even suggestions of rape in there as well. So it does deal with some very dark adult subject matter, so do bear that in mind. But nevertheless, a very good, well put together game, and I hope we see another game in this style from this developer. So a definite buy from me once again. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll catch you on the next review.